During the Sermon on the Mount, Jesus warned us about the dangers of judging others. He said, "Judge not, that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again." Matthew 7, 1-2. By the way, judge can mean various things. It can mean to simply observe and assess a person's actions or a situation and make an evaluation of them. It can also mean to pronounce a sentence or consequence based on the evaluation. So keep that in mind. There are plenty of immature people who misapply the command to judge not in order to shield themselves from constructive criticism. But Jesus wasn't telling us that we should never judge others. If that were the case, we wouldn't be allowed to have judges in courts, for instance. Neither would we be able to make daily assessments of people's actions in order to know how to interact or respond. Nor would parents, teachers, bosses, supervisors, and others in authority be able to manage those they're responsible for. The commandment not to judge had more to do with how we judge others, primarily the spirit in which we judge, and our motives in doing so. In John 7:24, Jesus admonished the religious leaders. He said, "Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment." He didn't tell them not to judge. He commanded them to judge righteously. And we can only do this if we're seeing people and situations through the lens of God's perspective, using His standards and His loving motives. If we apply our own standards and use impure motives, we're likely to judge incorrectly, often too harshly and sometimes too leniently. Both are detrimental. A parent, for instance, who's too harsh with their kids can discourage them, make them fearful and likely to rebel. Whereas a parent who's too lenient with their kids can produce spoiled and entitled kids who grow up unable to function in the harsh realities of the real world. And by saying, "With what measure ye mete, it shall be measured to you again," Jesus was warning us that unrighteous judgment will backfire on us personally. If we're harsh with others, others will be harsh with us. And God too will judge us by the same harsh standards we use to judge others. In the way we judge others for their sins, we are in effect pronouncing our own sentence for our sins. An example of this is found in 2 Samuel 12, when King David, who had earlier committed the grave sin of arranging the death of his loyal soldier Uriah in order to take his wife for himself, was confronted by the prophet Nathan. Nathan, using a metaphor for David's actions, told David a fictitious story about a rich man who committed the relatively minor sin of unjustly taking a lamb from a poor man. King David reacted harshly by declaring that the rich man deserved to die. In doing that, he unwittingly pronounced the death penalty on himself. Nathan made that clear by then declaring to David, "You are that rich man." God's judgments of people and situations are for the purpose of loving guidance and correction, and always for the benefit of His children. They are a carefully and lovingly balanced combination of high standards and expectations, mixed with wisdom, grace, and mercy. God always judges people with love, and so should we. So, let's remember John 7:24. Judge not according to the appearance, but judge righteous judgment. Thanks for watching. Please be sure to subscribe, like, and share. See you next time. Bye.